Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on my video today. I'm going to be talking about my tips for keeping relationships and friendships really strong during lockdown. Hopefully we'll be coming to the end of it soon and everyone can go back to seeing each other safely, but for now we have been in lockdown for 2 months. And in this time, it can really be starting to take its toll on people's relationships because they haven't seen each other in a really long time, and it might feel like I can't do this any longer. For some people, it's starting to get really hard and you might not know how to keep that spark alive. You might not know how to keep a good line of communication. You might just not know how to keep in touch very well and keep those friendships and relationships strong and really thriving. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the ways that I have been managing this with my friendships, with my relationships, with my family and things like that. So if that's something that you would like to hear about, keep watching and leave a like down below because it helps me out. Thank you very much. And let's get right into it. So the first thing that I think is really important is keeping a good line of communication with your partner, with your friends, with your family, whoever it is, and actually speak to them about how they like to communicate. Some people really love to text all day long. For me, that isn't how I really like to do things. I do like to send like the occasional text throughout the day just to check in, but for me, my preferred way to communicate is by having phone calls, maybe once a week, twice a week, something like that, and then the odd text in between, maybe a good morning text and a good night text. But I personally don't like to continuously text or Snapchat. I know that some people really do like that, but that's not personally for me. Another way to keep your friendships and relationships really strong during this time is by doing social distancing dates, which I think is so fun when you can video call someone, maybe on Zoom, and then just both make your favorite dinner and sit down and eat dinner together, have a chat about what you've been doing, how you're feeling, stuff like that. Another date idea could be you both watch the same movie at the same time, both get some snacks and snuggle up, and then video call either throughout the whole movie and just turn down the volume of the call so you're not hearing it like echoing through, or just calling at the beginning and calling at the end. And that's a really good way to have something to talk about, especially if you're both not working and you're at home and there's not that much going on. There might not be so much for you to keep talking about, so that's a really good way just to have like other topics of conversation so that you can keep having that line of communication and feeling that kind of closeness with that person even though you can't actually see them. I feel like you can do this with your friends, you can do this with your family. It doesn't have to be like a date with your partner. It can be with anyone that you're friends with or anyone that you have any kind of good relationship with. In the UK recently, they have lessened the restriction on the lockdown slightly, so you are allowed to meet up with one person on a walk at a 2-meter distance from each other. I personally haven't done this with any of my friends or anything, and I think it would be really hard not running over to them and hugging them, but that is an option if you were in the UK. I don't know what the lockdown restrictions are like anywhere else in the world at the moment, but that is a possibility that you could look into, whether you can go on walks together or meet in an outdoor area and just keep that 6 feet or 2-meter distance. Another thing that I have done actually with my boyfriend, and I've done it with one of my friends, is exchange gifts. So my boyfriend, it was so sweet. Even though it was kind of silly, he personalised a t-shirt and then had that sent to my house, and he literally had like a collage of pictures of his face on his t-shirt, but it was just so funny and so silly, and it was just like a little token to be like, yeah, I'm thinking about you. That was really sweet. Another time that I have exchanged gifts was with my friend, and what she did was she came outside my house and I'd left a gift bag at the end of my drive, and she dropped off this bag for me, and she took the gift bag and went to her car, and I came and got the bag that she'd left for me. So I really like going out for tea, and I love having cheesy garlic bread, so she got some like fresh ciabatta garlic bread and some mozzarella and some chocolate, and had it in a little care package thing for me. I just painted her a picture as a little "I'm thinking of you, here's a little present from me," and that was so sweet. So it doesn't have to be a gift that costs a lot of money. Like, these are just little tiny tokens just to be like, "I'm thinking of you, I miss you," just to let each other know that you're still in each other's thoughts. Another way that I'm trying to keep my friendships and relationships really strong during this time is just making plans for when this is all over and done with and all behind us, and things that we can do, just plans to look forward to. So me and my boyfriend are really looking forward to going to the zoo, to going to the aquarium, and just meeting up and having a movie night, to be honest. So we're just thinking about that, something to look forward to, and just remembering that this isn't going to be forever. It's only a temporary situation, and although it's really hard right now, it won't be forever. A really fun way that me and my friends have been keeping in touch and having fun is by doing online party games. So there's a website called Jackbox, and you use your phone as the remote, and then you can get the stream up on your computer, laptop, iPad, and there's lots of different games where you can do it with a big group. And so one of them is like, you have to draw something, and then different people make the captions, and then the combination of the drawing and the caption is a t-shirt, and then you all vote on what's your favourite one, and some of them are really silly, and it's just a really fun way to like have a little party with your friends. It's just super cute, and we've been doing that a lot, and we might have drinks, and I just think that's a really fun little cute thing that we can do, and that we are really lucky with the technology that we have at the moment, that we can do things like this. One thing that I think is really important to remember is that just because your friend or your partner isn't speaking to you constantly, it doesn't mean that it's something personally against you. It doesn't mean that you've been forgotten about. Everyone's dealing with different things at the moment, and I just think that it's really important to keep in mind that they might be dealing with something, and their way of dealing with it is just having a bit of time alone, and they might just need a little bit of time to themselves, and not to take it too personally. If you are worried about someone, do reach out to them and try and offer your support, and just remind them that you're there. But try not to take things personally, and don't get upset, because it most likely isn't anything personally, and it's probably just because they are dealing with something themselves. Like most people are. We're all going through something at this time, so try not to take things too personally. I think it's important to keep yourself busy during this time as well. It will help to keep your mind distracted from missing people so much, and just try and focus on things for yourself. This could be as little as doing little self-care routines, or it could be that you start a new hobby or start doing some exercise. I've been doing yoga, which I think is really good for me, because it doesn't have that weight loss mentality, but it does have a very body positive, almost meditation kind of aspect to it. So it will be like, set your intention for the day, and it helps you to tell you like your body's strong and things like that. So yoga is something that I've absolutely loved. I'm not saying that everyone has to start doing yoga, but that's just something that's helped me. And it also, by starting a new hobby and keeping yourself busy, or really focusing on yourself and what you're doing, it can give you something else to talk about. Like I said before, sometimes it can be hard to have something to talk about all the time, especially if you're both at home and you're not doing much. It can be hard to have any topics of conversation, and then it feels like almost that you don't want to talk, but it's not even that you don't want to talk, it's just hard to have a conversation when there's nothing to talk about. So really taking time to do things that you enjoy, things that make you happy, and learning a new skill, something like that, to keep your mind occupied, and it will help to give you something to talk about, and it might just take a tiny bit of pressure away from that relationship or that friendship. The last couple of things that I just want to say is that if you need a little bit of extra reassurance and support, just let your friends and family know. These are people that love you, and I'm sure that if you reach out to them, they will try and help and support you any way that they can. And they might just give you that little extra bit of reassurance that you need. Maybe it's just that you need reminding that you're in their thoughts and that they love you and care about you. I know that I'm quite an insecure person, so sometimes I will message my boyfriend or I'll ring him and be like, I just need a bit of reassurance, and he will happily give it to me and be like, we're best friends, you know it. And it is helpful to just think, oh yeah, everything's fine. Like, sometimes, especially if you're not talking, you can get in your own head a little bit, overthinking about things, when actually it might be that you've texted them and they've not replied because they're busy, but to you it could be internalizing like insecurities and stuff like that. So just asking them for a bit of reassurance, I'm sure that they will be happy to give that to you. And the last thing, I've said this earlier in the video, but just remember that this won't last forever. It'll be over before we know it, and hopefully we'll all come out of it stronger, both as individuals, and I think our relationships and friendships will be stronger, because I think we've all learned that we shouldn't take these things for granted, that maybe we have done in the past because we've never had a reason to really appreciate what we've got. So those were just my personal ideas and ways that I've been trying to keep my friendships and relationships strong during lockdown. If you have any of your own ideas, please leave them in the comments down below, and if you liked any of my ideas, please give this video a like, because it will really help me out on my channel. Thank you so much for watching and taking a chance to listen to some of the things that I have to say, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. Bye!